Hello there. Welcome to my channel. My name's Patty, and I like to question crime, and I always have a lot of questions. And I welcome you here, and thank you for coming to my channel. I want to talk tonight about the very dark demise of Mica Miller, who allegedly unalived herself in North Carolina. I'm going to go through some things with you tonight. I just wanted you to see what she looked like, and this is Mica Miller. And so I'm going to be discussing her tonight because I think it's really important. Domestic abuse is a very scary, and it ends like this many times. Now, I know that allegedly we heard her call that she supposedly called 911 and said that she was about to unalive herself. And we know that, and we know that her body was found, and supposedly she shot herself. But her family does not believe that story. And they believe something else happened, and so do I. And, what's really scary is it takes women about 7 times to finally leave their abusive partner. And when they finally get the courage enough to do it, usually, for the most, not all the time, but for a lot of the time, women don't make it through this. I will give you an example. Suzanne Morfield is just one case out of Colorado who didn't make it out. She tried to get out. And I just want to remember Mica Miller here. She was a beautiful woman. She was a worship leader of the women's ministries at this church. And her husband supposedly is a pastor, though I do not call him a pastor. I don't think he has a right to say that he's a pastor after I've heard all the evil things that he has done. So please remember Mica Miller's family in your prayers as they're going through this, and pray that she gets justice. So I'm just going to talk about this for a few minutes, but I'm going to show you a few clips from videos under fair use and copyright laws. Hold on here, you guys. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get over here. My dog took my seat. But anyways, under fair use and copyright laws, I just want you to hear a portion of this channel's video. This guy's really good. I really enjoy his content. And I'm not gonna, you need to go over and subscribe to his channel because he has a lot of great updates on Mica Miller.
There has been revelations by...
His name is Joesph Morris. And I'm on a video called New Evidence Reveals Shocking Theory in Mica Miller's Case. I recommend that you go watch his videos and subscribe. He's really awesome. But I want you to hear this, and then I'm going to discuss it with you. I'm going to stop it here and there. So here we go. Listen to this.
Cyber sleuths that put forth the theory that Mica was taken to the location her body was found by boat, since she was found in waist-deep water in a river known to have alligators. What's more, she was found in a restricted area of the river and had to ignore all the signs that pedestrians weren't allowed back there. Her father, Michael, also revealed that the shell casings were found 40 meters away from her body, and she had marks on her body as if she was made to fire at her head. So there was marks on her hand and apparently marks on her arm as if her arm was being held behind her. So one theory that blows this case
excuse me for a minute here. I just want to stop it and say that Mica had a restraining order against her abusive husband, and he had trackers on her vehicle. He stalked her, followed her, and she was, had proof of this stuff. He put her in a mental institution. He allegedly was giving her testosterone and controlling her medicines. And allegedly he has a girlfriend too. But anyways, the thing is when you listen to this, he was stalking her and he was following her. So that will continue.
Open was that she was brought there by boat, since it would explain how she would ignore all the signs and be able to be found in waist-deep alligator-infested water. Many people feel as though she had no idea where she was going or being taken to and was confused where they were taking her. So when Mica made the 911 call, she had to ask someone where she was, hypothetically. Also, there is no cell service in Lumber River State Park, so the one last place she could make that phone call was a place called Fair Bluff. Again, she had no idea where she was, according to the Siri, and she had to ask someone on the boat where she was. So a TikToker tested that theory that someone told her where she was, since many users think they can hear a faint voice in the background. And this video really solidified this theory for me, and I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you guys hear the voice? This video is from Nat Cash Radio on TikTok, to whom I've linked in the description below, so you can check her out and give her a follow. And I really appreciate her for sharing this video, because it does really sound like someone is
And I did
instructing
hear
her
this video.
to say Fair Bluff.
Hi, it's me. I said I was never going to make another video on this, but then again, I took my ex back 17 times, and here we are. So we're talking about the 911 call with Mica Miller. Definitely heard Fair Bluff, very soft and quick in the background, a little bit before Mica says it. Okay.
And I did too.
I talk on country music radio. I was just playing around with this because I like true crime. So here's the 911 call. I don't hear it, but then again, I have talked on the radio for 20 years, and I've worn headphones for a very long time. So I'm going to use the headphones for this, and then I will turn it up for you guys here. This is...
Where's the park located at?
In Bear Bluff.
Okay, I'm going to turn it up for you because I don't hear anyone in the background at all. Actually, we'll put it in mono. Let's do that. So,
Okay, listen closely.
let's put it in mono. We're going to turn it up like this. All right.
Where's the park located at?
In Bear Bluff.
I think I just heard it.
Yep.
Hold on.
Hold on.
What? Guys, I heard it.
It was a female voice.
Right there. Right there. Oh, it's too much. I think y'all were right. That's wild.
In
Gabby, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Okay. I want want to say something right here. I'm going to back it up. Because not only did someone say Fair Bluff, a female, but I want you to listen to this noise because no one else that I am aware of has picked up on this. Now, I put a comment in this guy's video, and so he knows now. But I want you to hear this noise, and then I'm going to explain to you what I heard.
I think y'all were right. That's
Okay,
wild.
hold on. Okay. Again, I want you to hear, if you hear creaking, listen to the creaking in the background. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to nothing else but creaking. Listen.
I think y'all were right. That's wild.
Hold on. Hear the creaking? Okay. I'm telling you, if you go back and listen to this real close, you will hear a boat, and it is rocking up against a dock. And I know because I go with my husband on the boat, and I hold the boat on the dock while he goes to get our truck. And I'm telling you, that is a boat creaking like it's tied up to a dock. Listen one more time, okay?
Right there.
And see if you
Right
can hear it.
there. Oh, it's too much.
Creaking coming.
I think y'all were right. That's wild.
Listen. And there's water splashing too. If you really pay attention and you listen to that video. So I do believe that she was taken by a boat. That somebody met up with her and took her by boat to the area she was found in.
Gabby, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I think she did. And I just got the cookie all over the floor, but here we go.
Now I'm just going to move it up just a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, that is absolutely insane that before Mica through my audio system, so I'm going to do that now.
Where's the park located at?
In
You can hear it. Fair
Bear
Bluff.
Bluff.
Yeah, and I mean, that is absolutely insane that before Mica says Fair Bluff, you can hear someone in the background say Fair Bluff, so one can...
Let's do it back again so you can hear it again.
Yeah, and I mean, that is absolutely
Wait,
insane
sorry.
that before
Okay, listen.
through my audio system, so I'm going to do that now.
Where's the park located at?
In Bear Bluff.
Yeah, and I mean, that is absolutely insane that before Mica says Fair Bluff, you can hear someone in the background say Fair Bluff, so one can assume that someone told her to say those words. And that someone, a lot of you guys have pointed out, sounds like a woman.
Yep,
So,
a female.
Going back to earlier, JP was allegedly seeing his girlfriend at the time, and she was his alibi. So whoever this girlfriend is vouching for JP. So I'm not saying that she was in on it, but it looks hella sus. JP was said to be at a match 2.5 hours away that ended at 11:30 a.m. So it was like a kids' Christian school soccer game out of town, 2.5 hours away. And her 911 call was around 3 p.m., which was more than enough time for JP and this girl to get back to Lumber River State Park. But JP allegedly rushed the cremation, and the cops just closed the case, even though all this information is coming out that shows that it could potentially have been a setup and a staging to make it look like she unalived herself. Also, it's interesting that she made the call in Fair Bluff, since the last place she was seen at was at 41 Grocery and Grill at 1:27 p.m., which is located at 41 SC 41 Mullins SC, or South Carolina, according to the Robeson County Sheriff's Office. So there was no other sightings of her after that, no highway cameras, nothing, after she visited this grocery store, 41 Grocery and Grill, at the bottom of the screen. So her going on the river would make a lot of sense since she can make it to her destination undetected. The river theory also makes sense because the route from the grocery store to the park does not pass through Fair Bluff. You can see Fair Bluff on the right-hand side, right about here. And both routes do not pass through that small town. She would have had to make a detour to get there, which doesn't make any sense. But what does go through Fair Bluff? Well, this is the city of Fair Bluff here, and on the left-hand side of your screen right here, where my pointer is the Lumber River. So the Lumber River actually goes through the town of Fair Bluff. And what's even crazier is that if you go down here, the part where I outlined, right on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina, attached to the Lumber River, is JP's lawyer's house, Tom Winslow. So Tom Winslow, just below Fair Bluff, as well as Lumber River State Park, owns 200 acres that backs up onto a creek that leads down to where Mica's body was found. So it's interesting because Myrtle Beach News said that Tom asked Nina, his property manager, on May 13th, which is about 2.5 weeks since Mica's body was found, and all of this information was hitting the fan. Everybody was looking closer at JP and Tom Winslow. Well, on May 13th, he started cleaning up there as it was overgrown, according to this news site. So it is kind of weird that, he just all of a sudden started cleaning his property up after people started finding this stuff out.
So where he lives is on the river, and there's no reason he probably, if he lives right on the river, I wouldn't doubt that the attorney has a boat, and JP knew about this, or he's been there before. And I really feel that the day that Mica went and was getting a gun for her protection, she got a restraining order out on him. She filed for divorce. And then all of a sudden she leaves. She looked happy in the gun store. And her dad said that she told him she was going to get one for protection. And she knew how to use it. And there was all these unspent rounds there far away from her body. So it's all really strange. So anyways, let's move on from here.
Things that make you go, right? Like, what are the chances that his property is attached to this river? Anyway, what do you guys think about all of this?
It is amazing. But not just that. Hold on. This, excuse me. This is a bombshell theory. The same guy put this out. A TikToker's theory blows Mica Miller's case wide open. And you guys need to hear this because I believe this, and watch this video.
Hi everyone, and happy Memorial Day.
I'm just going to get past he talks a little bit, but I'm just going to skip through under fair use and copyright laws. My channel's not monetized. I'm not making any money off this. I'm just sharing information about Mica Miller in case you are interested in this case or following it, or to bring awareness to her case. Okay, here we go. Listen to this TikTok theory.
The other day, but here is 40.
Hold on.
And I'm going to let the court of public opinion do its thing. Okay, so I briefly explained this the other day, but here is 41 Grocery and Grill, the highway that Mica would have been on if she went to Dick's Pawn Shop and was driving up to Lumber River, would have taken her in this general direction. She ends up getting off the highway here and drives over here to 41 Grocery and Grill. The thing that's interesting about this that I can't get over is that It's a long drive off the highway, and if the goal was to get gas and a drink, she has to get off the highway and literally pass Sunoco the second she gets off the highway. My question has always been, why did she ever end up here, which will be a whole separate video. We're just going to talk about another way she could have gotten from this location up to Lumber River without ever being spotted. A couple things come into play here. Number one, the distance between these two locations by car is one thing, but the distance between these two locations by river is a whole nother ballgame. So I'm just going to talk to you while you see this journey here. This is 41 Grocery and Grill. It goes straight to a highway, and 6 minutes away is a small inlet called Gallivan's Ferry. It's a boat inlet. So I mentioned this in the video the other day. You're going to see this is Lumber River. It goes straight all the way to Lumber River. But what we didn't know at that time was that Tom Winslow, or friends with J.P. Miller, who also went to Solid Rock Church, owns 200 acres of land that sits directly next to the border of South Carolina and North Carolina. And the property that he owns here literally is outlined by Lumber River. Of course, it's not illegal to own property. He's welcome to own as much property.
And this is her
as he wants.
husband's
And
attorney.
This is all alleged. We don't know necessarily
That
what
owns
happened
the
on that
property.
property, if the property plays a role, but the fact that that property is sitting on the river where Mica was found is obviously a red flag. When we start to think about that, the property is outlined by, it looks like a snake, this river here. Continues onward into another town, and then it lands itself into Lumber River State Park, where Mica's body was found. The thing that we need to pay attention to is the fact that Mica's family talked all about the crime scene here. Then we also had investigators go out, News Nation went out with the fishermen, and on top of that, Kyler Marlowe and the investigative team that she's working with, NDB, have gone there in person, found the location, saw that it's about a 15 to 20 minute walk from the car, which is not super overwhelming. However, if the goal on the phone, the 911 call, was to be found, the part that we all seem to get stuck on and find curious is that she waded through waist deep water to get to this restricted area in order to herself in a slough of water that is completely off the path that you would ever take to like venture into the woods here. So she was in a restricted area. She was found in the water. She was found over 130 feet away from the gun and the shell casings, and made a phone call to ping her location that she wanted to be found. I have a problem with that information. I superimposed the picture of Tom Winslow's property on top of actual Google Earth. So you could see the outline of his property sits on the border of South Carolina, and his backyard is Lumber River. And what's really interesting to me is that there's easy access points here straight into the river that are off of dirt paths. So now we have the last point of being seen, which was 41 Grocery and Grill. We have a 6 minute away entry point into the river, Gallivan Ferry. Then we have a stopping point along the way, which is Tom's property. Not saying these things happened, but I think it's quite interesting that we're still driving straight up the river and hit another spot here. And then the police report said that Mica was found in this one specific spot, and when the family was brought out there to look at it, when Kyler and DB went out there to look at it, when other investigators from News Nation went out there to look at it, what's so concerning is that she was found in a restricted area away from where everyone else would be. But you know who wouldn't really know that? Someone who was on a boat. Someone who was on a boat wouldn't know that the pathway from the car into the water was in a restricted area. Someone who walked through would. So Mica would have known that she was walking through a restricted area. There would have been signs up. She would have seen things that said restricted area, and she would have stayed on the path. But someone who didn't know that that was a restricted area would have been someone who took another method into the park besides the pathway. Like, for instance, the water. So, the thing that has bothered me since the beginning is that the Grocery and Grill, she would have had to get back on the highway either this way or go straight up this way. If she went by boat, either willingly, which I doubt, or unwillingly, there's a piece of information that never made sense as well that I think is connected to this. Remember the phone call that Mica made to 911 and said,
this is very important right here. Listen to this, okay? Also, I don't know if you've seen Mica when she went to purchase the gun. She was happy. She was smiling. Nothing was wrong. The guy at the store where she got gas and a drink said she was in a good mood, that she didn't look like nothing was wrong. Okay? And she put gas in her car. And she paid her taxes. And all these things. Like, why would she do that if she's going to unalive herself? It's really strange, okay? That's what I think anyways. But let's continue.
The dispatcher asked her, what town are you in? I don't think you're in Robeson County. And she says, Fair Bluff? I want to show you the last town with service. Nope, you're looking at that right. The last town from Grocery and Grill, there's many of them. And one of them that she wouldn't drive through is Fair Bluff. And the state park is not in Fair Bluff. But you know what is in Fair Bluff? The river. The river is in Fair Bluff. Gallivan's Ferry goes all the way up to Tom's property. And guess what the last town is between Tom's property and Lumber Rover State Park is? Fair Bluff. And when Mica on the phone says,
What's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Let me see. You don't know where you're at?
In National Park.
What's the phone number you're calling me from?
843-655-5242.
Where's the park located at?
In Bear Bluff.
Fair Bluff? You want to know why? Because the last town you can make a phone call from is Fair Bluff. And guess what doesn't go there? The highway. Either direction. The highway, it goes around it in either direction. But guess what doesn't go around it? The river.
Okay. Really crazy, right? Really crazy. Now, I want to show you something else. Hold on, I gotta get down here for a minute. I'm sorry, I'm looking for it. I don't know if I can find it, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it, you guys. Maybe. I don't know, but so I'm just gonna.
He had his sights set on her from a very young age.
Okay, I just wanted to talk about her for a few minutes. You guys, I really believe she was going to get a weapon to protect herself. Somehow on that drive, that's what I was looking for when she stopped at the gas station. If you haven't seen it, when she stopped to get gas, there was a black truck which her husband owns in dark black or dark blue, whatever it was, and he kept circling. This same kind of vehicle kept circling in the parking lot where she was getting gas. Also, it is also known that he took Mica, her husband took her car away from her, and he was driving it. It's a white car, and you can see a white car that looks just like the one he was driving at that gas station. And we know that he has followed Mica. He has put trackers on her car, and her parents really believe, her family really believes that she was taken there by force, and I believe she was taken there by boat. I'm not kidding you. When I heard that creaking in that video, I truly believe that that was a boat, and that they were by... Sorry, I gotta shut this window. I truly believe that they were by a dock or something, because that's what it sounded like. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to holding the boat. I really wish I could find that video that... Oh no. So they found some missing body in Utah of a woman that's been missing. But, her dad said when they got her body that, that Mica was, had scratches on her hands and on her arm. So that's her dad right there. And that's what I'm saying. I think that, he found her and even forced her to do, or did it himself. And the fisherman that found her, he heard crying, and then he heard a gunshot. It's very sad, you guys. I get really sad for women that go through this. You know, they just wanted to escape. They just wanted to get out. And they don't make it. They try. And my heart goes out to the family, you know. Oh boy. Just seems like I had something else here I would have loved to show you, but I don't know now. Maybe. You know, it really does sound, I heard in one of the videos, it sounds like it said Mica's file. And like maybe they did use AI or a recording of her voice. I do not know. But it was very scary, and I think so. I don't even know what this is. Oh, I just watched that one. Oh, I forgot this channel has a... No. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
Mica's my age, so whenever she was 18 was when they got married, or back to like actually officially together, but she was 16, so 15 years ago.
Okay. Hold on. I don't know if she has anything on there that I wanted to show you or not, but I thought I'd bring it up if I did see it. No, I don't see anything about it.
I noticed that she was always really sad looking.
So you guys, it's pretty sad, and it's pretty dark, because also I heard that Mica was well, I guess there was perverted things going on in the house, like with Mica. There was like he was making her do stuff with homeless people, and with other people and bad things like that. And there are a lot of really sick, freakish people in the world that do get excited to have their women do bad things with other people. And I think it's really sick. You know, I do anyways. But yeah, to me, that's pretty dark stuff. And, you know, he brainwashed her. I guess he's known her since she was a young girl. And the family says he's been grooming her and brainwashing her. And these are all just my, what I've heard on YouTube channels. These are all allegedly. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. And these are only my opinions. Okay? So, yeah, I feel really bad that women go through this all the time. And this is another victim of this sort of thing. And I really hope that the police do a deeper investigation and don't just rule it as a suicide, because it's not. That is not. I don't believe that for a minute. Let me ask you guys, if you're going to leave your husband who's abusive and you're going to get a divorce and you're getting restraining orders, then why would you want to end your own life? You're trying to save your life to get out. It's very scary, you guys. I know I don't share a lot, but many years ago, when I was in a domestic, abusive, violent marriage, you know, he always threatened to unalive me if he ever found me, if I ever left. And so what I did was, I was so scared of him, you guys, that I packed up stuff a little at a time, and then I started putting it in my closet that, like, I knew that my husband never went into, my ex. And just little by little, I started just saving everything and putting it aside so that when it came time for me to pack up and leave, and I actually lied to him the day that I left. I said that I had to get trash, and could I please take out the trash, so could I please use the garbage can? I mean, the truck to take the garbage cans. And there's her husband. There she is. There she is. But look at that smile on her face. She wasn't going to unalive herself. But anyways, yeah. I'm just saying it's a very scary time, and you have to be careful. And you have to watch out. And, you know, her going through all of this, I really don't believe that she would want to end her life. And I'm sorry to say this, but women do not pew pew, whatever you want to say, themselves in the head. They do not do that. Women are very vain when it comes to stuff like that. How did her body get so far away? And there was 2 or 3 bullets that went off, but the fisherman only heard 1 gunshot. But yet, here she is, far away in this water is where she was found, far away from her belongings. And why? There was a fisherman who found her belongings, and he was on this boat, and he just said, well, you know, I heard the shot, and then I heard a cry, and then I heard a shot, and then I went over by there, and I seen all her belongings at the bank. And so I took them up to the shore with me. Why? Why would you touch someone's belongings? And what if that was somebody else that was out there and you took their belongings? It's just really strange that he would do that. I would never touch somebody else's stuff, but I would report it to the police. So that was really strange to me. Some people are accusing the fisherman, but I'm not so sure if the fisherman's involved. But I wouldn't doubt if he met her somewhere on the ride home. On the ride, and did something to her. Maybe he told her, I'll sign all the papers and leave you alone if you meet me out here at my lawyer's house. You know, that is a big possibility, you guys. But yeah, it's very scary. And Mike Miller's case really has me watching and paying attention. I just feel so bad, you guys. It's such a scary thing. And, you know, abuse isn't just mental. I mean, just isn't physically. It's mentally. It's emotionally. And it's draining. And it's hard. And I just really believe she was fighting and wanted a new life. And if you are paying attention to the Mica Miller's case, go look at all the different videos of her, and you will see that she was trying to get away. And even her husband slashed her tires with razors, and the police had to come change her tires. He put her in a mental institution and said that she had mental problems. And he is a minister of a church, and he sat there and tore her down and made her look terrible in front of his congregation. That's really a shame. And anybody who doesn't stand up against that kind of stuff, there's something wrong with you. And nobody needs to be standing next to this minister. And that church needs to be shut down for real. They're not even preaching the true gospel, because Jesus would never act like this, the way that this minister has been acting towards his wife. You know, sexual immorality, drinking, drugs, whatever. I mean, he was doing every kind of weird thing, allegedly. So, I think it's all going to come out. I hope it doesn't. I don't think her family's going to stop fighting for justice for her. I really don't think so. I think they're going to... I didn't watch Law and Crime. I did not watch this one today. But
he had his sights set on her from a very young age.
I was just thankful that I had found out around...
Okay. I'm just going to go forward with this a little bit. This is what she said right here. The bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain.
And we have learned during the course of this story that...
But anyways, yeah, she was trying to get away from this...
Over a month before Mica's death?
This husband of hers. She was trying to get away. And unfortunately, she didn't make it out. And I just don't believe that she unalived herself. There's no way. I think that she had help, and her husband was done with this. And, you know, he's being investigated, I guess. The FBI is investigating the finances of that church. And I'm thinking that her wanting to get a divorce, that would really cause a bad problem, if you know what I mean. Because the money situation, he wouldn't want that money taken away from him. And I guess they had like a worth of like a couple $1 million. So they were doing really well. And all of a sudden now, you know, she left and she's deceased. And, you know, they're trying to say it was, you know, that unaliving word. But anyways, I was hoping I'd get to show you something else, but right here. Look at this.
We've all seen the surveillance footage of Mica Miller.
This is Robbie Harvey. But
We've
listen,
all scoured over it, frame by frame, looking for that blue truck.
I think it's this truck. And I'm pointing through it. Looks very grainy. But this is truck.
Well, maybe. Just
that truck kept circling the parking lot. He would come back and circle again where Mica was
what
at
if
this
we were
gas
looking for the
station.
wrong vehicle? Remember the police report in which Mica says John Paul stole her car? Well, he never gave that car back. That car was a white Honda. And that's why you see Mica in a black car. When she had to purchase,
Here she is.
because she needed a vehicle.
This was the one I was looking for. She's walking up to the store.
According to multiple sources, John Paul drives that white Honda on a regular basis.
Now watch, look at this white car. It pulls in, comes around. There she is over there. And then look at this car, watch it. It's gonna pull up. Look how close it pulled up to the car. What does he do? What are they doing? See, it's scary. I think this car met her, or they told her to meet.
Notices the car and stops.
See,
multiple times. This was April 27th, and days later, on May 1st, Mica's former car was seen at the Wyndham Garden in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, let's stop. Pick up your jaw off the ground.
okay. Anyways, you guys, yeah. He's been following her. He's been tracking her. And it's very scary. And I'm just praying that Mica gets justice. I pray that our family just continues to push through. Also, he posted pictures of her topless on Facebook and then said, oh, well, he admitted it, but he said, oh, well, it was just for an hour. How could you do something like that to your wife, you know, that you supposedly love? It's just really sad. But yeah, that's Mica Miller, and I really believe that her husband's responsible for this. Though I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a court, so I can only say I believe, it's my personal opinion, allegedly, that we don't know really exactly all the information, but it's very suspicious to her family, it's very suspicious to many others, and it's very suspicious to me. And I'm sad for her that she didn't get out, and I hope she gets justice. I'm not going to go too much further into this because I don't want to keep you guys on here long, but I really just wanted to show you the information in Mica Miller's case so that you can, if you're interested, stay updated on it. Okay, you guys? Well, I love ya, and I'm thinking about ya, and I'll be on soon, okay? Take it easy. God bless you.
And let's dig a little deeper.